And it's one of those terms in golf, just so we can confuse you a little bit more, has a lot of different meanings. But what we're talking about today is we're talking about releasing the club through impact. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how to release the golf club for maximum power. I'm going to talk about what it means to release a golf club, as well as give you a few drills that'll help you do it with maximum power for maximum distance. But before we get to that, I've really enjoyed bringing this free content to you, and our YouTube community, it's growing. And I want it to continue to grow, and you can help me with that by liking this video when it's over, subscribing to my YouTube channel, which just alerts you when I have new videos available for you to watch. And then there's a great new feature on YouTube, and you can thank me for this video if you found it very helpful and can contribute to the ongoing success of my YouTube channel. And as always, don't forget to comment. So the first thing we need to do is we need to talk about what does it mean, or what is it to release the club. And it's one of those terms in golf, just so we can confuse you a little bit more, has a lot of different meanings. But what we're talking about today is we're talking about releasing the club through impact. And what that means is we want the toe of the club, which would be this end here, to pass the heel of the club through impact. So you can see how the toe here is passing the heel through impact, and this helps us not only from a standpoint of distance, but it also helps us to square the club face up, so it helps us with accuracy, and it helps us with distance because at some point I've got to get all the speed, all the power out into the club head, and so this helps that speed go through the chain. It comes from me into my hands and then eventually out into the golf club, because at impact what we want going the fastest is the club head, not necessarily our hands or our body, but the actual club head. So there's a few actions that go with this that help me to release that club, and what you can see here, one of them is my trail hand, which for a lefty, my trail hand is going to be my left hand. If you're right-handed, it's going to be your right hand, but my trail hand actually takes over or passes the lead hand. Or if I look at it from a forearm perspective, my trail forearm goes over my lead forearm, and we have some real fancy names for these. We call it pronation and supination. So it'll be pronation of your trail arm. As a lefty, it's going to be my left arm. If you're a righty, it's going to be your right arm. But just think of the back of your forearm or your watch pointing to the sky. That's pronation. And then my lead arm is going to take the opposite action, which would be supination. So that's actually my lead arm. The inside of my forearm is now pointing to the sky, or my palm is now pointing to the sky. So that pronation of the trail arm and that supination of the lead arm is what leads to releasing the golf club through impact, if you're into the science and the technical terms behind it, which I know some of you are. Okay, so that's great. We know we need to do that. It helps from a power standpoint. It helps from a squaring of the club face, so an accuracy standpoint. Well, how do I do this? What are some good ways for me to complete this task and to do it organically during the golf swing? And one of my favorite drills to help a student feel this, very simple, we don't even need to hit a golf ball, but what I'm going to have you do is I'm just going to have you split your grip like you're holding a hockey club, a hockey stick. And so we're going to split our grip, and I'm not going to hit the ground, but I'm just going to make some practice swings above the ground through impact. And what I feel is I really feel that trail hand, my left hand or left arm, taking over, squaring the club face. I can definitely feel the speed getting out into the club head. So the next thing I want to do is I want to hit a golf ball feeling this. So as you know, I always like to move from the least invasive thing to the most invasive thing. So if you're not sure if you get a release in your golf swing, just split your grip on the club. You're out at the driving range. Make a couple practice swings. Okay, well that's what it feels like. Not sure if I do that or not, but I'm going to hit a ball and make sure I do it in this next swing, and we'll see what we get out of it. So I do a couple rehearsal swings like that. I put my hands together, take a regular grip, and do the same thing again, and I'm going to get that nice feeling into and through impact. Yeah, and that was real solid. Felt a lot of speed out into the club head. I got good interaction with the turf. Don't know if you could see it on the video, but the direction was good, so I know I squared that club face up. So that would be the first way that I would go about working on or fixing your release. And I think right now we should have a conversation about when this should happen. Like, when do I feel this release? Does it happen early in the downswing? Does it happen late in the downswing? Does it happen at the golf ball? Does it happen past the golf ball? And it's really going to depend on the style that you swing the golf ball, the golf club, into the golf ball. Those of you who tend to fight a hook or a draw, you're going to feel it a little bit later. Those of you who slice the golf ball, so for a lefty, a slice would be the ball going left. If you're a righty, you would see it go right. Probably one of the most common, especially with beginning to middle handicap golfers. They tend to see a fade or a slice. You would want to definitely feel that earlier in the downswing. And with some of my students who really struggle releasing the club or struggle with squaring the club face up, some of them, especially with a driver, which is longer and heavier, have to feel like as soon as they start the downswing, they're starting to feel that trail arm overtake that lead arm or feel that release for maximum power. And as you get better at it and you start doing that and the ball starts going a direction that you don't want, for me, if it started going right, I would know I'm squaring that club face or releasing it just a little too early, a little too hard, so I'll back off when I want to do it. Now maybe I want to do it later in the downswing. Now, one other thing that can contribute to this is grip pressure or tension and my tension levels. If I have a lot of tension, it's really hard. You can see I can't get that toe of the club to pass the heel. Can't really get the left forearm over my right forearm because I'm just gripping the heck out of this thing. You've seen it in my other videos, specifically my video about the grip. But one of my favorite things to help students get rid of tension is what I call greasy elbows. And so what that is I've got a hold of the club because I don't want to let go of it, but I get the tension. I make my elbows really greasy. And when I do this with students, when I test them, I have them hold a club up to me. I come in and I grab the club and we have this little wrestling match because they're gripping the club so tightly. And so they learn how to get some of that tension. And really what we're talking about is tension in the wrist joint, the elbow joint, and the shoulder joint. And so when I can get rid of that tension, it makes it a lot easier for me to go ahead and release this club at the proper time in my golf swing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and if you remember some of the old-time golfers like Chichi Rodriguez, Lee Trevino, Sam Snead, you'd watch them walk into a golf shot and they would actually be pumping their elbows, getting rid of that tension as they walked into the shot. So that's what I'm going to do with this next one. I'm going to kind of combine the first drill we did with a little less tension. So split the grip, get a good feel of that release. I'm going to have it feel like it happens a little bit more at the bottom. I think I'm pretty efficient at releasing the club, so I don't have to feel it too early. Through self-discovery, I know if I do it too early, that ball's going to go right for me. And so I've got that good feel of the release. Now I'm going to just help myself with those greasy elbows, get the tension out of there. And again, a really solid shot on line. Could feel the left arm passing the right arm, the trail arm over the lead arm. So great release and definitely generating some power with some accuracy. So the last thing I want to talk about, or another way that you can do this if you're not sure that you get it, is we're going to think more on the finish or the front side of the golf swing. And what I'm going to think about is as I finish my golf swing, or as I get post-impact or after impact, I'm going to feel like my thumbs are pointing to the target, or I am pointing to the camera right now. So I'm just going to feel those thumbs point towards the target, which right now is the camera for me. And then I know that that toe of that club is passing the heel, my trail arm's getting over the lead arm. From face on, again, I'm just getting those thumbs through impact. You can almost feel like your thumbs are going to go into the back of the golf ball. That gives me that release feeling. So let's hit one more. A little different feeling. I'm going to blend all three, the split grip, the greasy elbows, walk in there, get that tension out of there. Now I'm just going to think about putting those thumbs towards the target or almost into the back of the golf ball and see if I can get a really powerful release here. So of the 3 shots I've hit during this video, that by far was the most solid. Had the best distance, definitely felt like I released it. Accuracy was awesome. So give these a try if you think you struggle with releasing or not sure if you release the golf club. Just run through this little process that I ran through here. Start with that split grip. Get rid of that tension to help you. And then the last way is just getting those thumbs to the target, or almost feeling like the thumbs are going into the back of the golf ball as I hit it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed bringing it to you, and you are now empowered and understand what it means to release a golf club through impact, and I gave you a few drills that'll help you do it with maximum power. So remember, please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out that new feature, and thank me for this video and contribute to my YouTube channel. And as always, don't forget to comment, and we'll see you soon.